Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Backbreaker Media. I am Andre C. Joining me here today is our good friend, the humanoid freak, Mr. Andreas. How you doing, good sir?
The other Andre,
Yeah,
humanoid freak. Yeah.
one of the thirds of the Triforce. And right below us, down below, is my regular co-host here on Backbreaker Video. It's the Melball.
Melball has arrived in full force with a power morpher and matching t-shirt.
Yep.
We are here today, as you can see. We're here to talk about Power Rangers. We're here to
Yeah.
talk about Once and Always, the Power Rangers 30th anniversary special. I was so amped for this. Me and Andreas kept going back and
Jesus.
forth in the weeks leading up, just putting the amount of days we had leading that were left for the show. Me and him were just kept sending that to each other. I was so excited for this.
Yeah, like seeing David Yost finally back on the show and Walter Manuel Jones. Because, yeah, you get to see Austin St. John, you get to see Jason David Frank, but you never see Walter Jones and David Yost do it. That was very exciting to see.
Yeah. I thought it was a big highlight. Mel, like, were you kind of amped for when you knew this was coming?
Yeah. When I found out it was coming, I was like, I had expectations because, like, especially with the nostalgia and how, obviously as the generations of Power Rangers have gone, they've kind of changed how they show the show, how they do things, kind of thing. So I was interested to see if they would keep up with that evolution or if they would kind of go back to that original kind of Power Ranger filming kind of thing. Then seeing that they had also made the addition of the cat character in Rocky, that got me very excited because I was always a big fan of Rocky, even though I was more of a Jason fan than a Rocky fan. I really did enjoy how Rocky kind of had that big oaf brawler kind of mentality when he was in there. And I'm really, really happy to see that that didn't change in this rendition also.
I like that his back got better after all these years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's a firefighter. He must have done something right to get his back right because he's a fire. He looked like he was wearing a firefighter gear when he first showed up. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Eating Chinese food, I think it was, or something.
Yeah,
Right.
noodles.
Some kind of takeout. Yeah, I very much enjoy it. So before we get into the special itself, so we all have a history with Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
I myself, I was 6 years old when this show started. Like, I think perfect age for me personally, and I've watched it. I watched it consistently up until I want to say SPD. I skipped Mystic Force, watched SPD, and then I kind of fell off after. And I got back in the last couple of years. I just finished up watching all of Dino Fury, getting really amped for Cosmic Fury coming later this year on Netflix. And I have a lot of. I've gone back. I've watched it all at this point. I watch it obsessively now. It's on YouTube for free, and I watch it once again way more obsessively now with that there. Andreas, what's your history with Power Rangers?
I remember exactly when it came out, like 1993. I was like 9 years old. That sounds like something out of Shrek is Love. I was 9 years old. No, literally, I was 9 years old, and I'm like watching TV when I came home from school. Then there's this commercial about like coming this week, this new show, Teenagers with Attitude. And I'm looking at it, I was like, what the hell is this? Like these people are fighting like red, blue, green. I'm going like, this looks pretty cool. It's like next week, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I go, okay, I think I'm watching this. The next week came, I fell in love with it. Didn't know it was part of Super Sentai because none of us knew this before that. Because this was before our internet got better.
Yeah, before the internet. Yeah.
We had dial-up, so we didn't know. We still had internet, but it was kind of bullshit. But yeah, I watched that all the way. I was hooked, man. I remember like up until In Space, where I stopped watching it because I was like got so sick of the Silver Ranger.
I loved him.
No, but this is the reason why I stopped. Like, I go like, this guy just shows up whenever they need help. I'm gonna stop watching this, and I stopped watching this. I completely forgot it was on until years later, where like the nerd culture became relevant again. And I'm going like, I wonder what Power Rangers is up to now. And I found out like, wow, there's an RPM So I went back and watched everything else, and I was like, damn. And I didn't know about Forever Red either. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh shit.
Mm. And Mel, your history with Power Rangers is you're the same age as Andreas, I think. So.
Yeah, actually, pretty much the same age. I was 9 years old when it came out. I think I actually have the least experience here with the Power Rangers. I only have experience with this first generation of the Power Rangers and when they kind of evolved into that, like into their little samurai kind of thing. But after the second movie was when I kind of did kind of fall off of it. That was also about the time that I also had moved from Canada to the United States. So I also couldn't really find it on the television just because I was young and didn't know how to read the TV guides properly, clearly.
TV guys.
Well, going from YTV to having to find out where Fox Kids is, yeah, because YTV showed it here in Canada for us, where it was a Fox Kids production in the States. So, yeah.
I should show it about Fox Kids, too, like also on YTV here, too.
Yeah, both.
Yeah. What I remember, do you guys remember there was like an official fan club that you could like write in and get the membership card and everything? I remember holding that card in my wallet for years and years and years with their special limited edition pictures on my wall. And man, let me tell you, my friends made so much fun of me.
Yeah, that's why I stopped watching.
That's
why I stopped watching Power Rangers, because they would make fun of me. It's like, how old are you? And you're watching Power Rangers? But this was the 90s, like before nerd culture became good.
Yeah, I would say same way, but me and my friend, like I had my friends who live right across the street from me, my age, so we watched Power Rangers, and then when they started to not like it anymore, I decided I'm just gonna like it myself and not tell anybody I still like Power Rangers because I was getting into I was getting into junior high, all that stuff. So I was just like, this is just gonna be a me thing at this point.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So we all have lots of love for that original series, those original 3 seasons, especially, like lots of love. And this special was all about that. So we're gonna get into it. I got some
clips.
I got screenshots. I'm not doing clips, so I'm not getting
We're not dealing with the copyright.
No. Yeah. So I thought just a beautiful kind of opening to the thing, doing the graphics, saying that, giving us like a little bit of history of what happened, and then say in the decades since, many heroes, to really pay homage to the Rangers that have come since them, which I really did like. And I just really like the fact that they have this little spot there.
You know what this is reminding me of?
What's that?
You know, remember watching the Power Rangers, the first movie, with like the intro, like Zordon talking? This was the first thing I thought of when I saw this. I go like, oh shit. They could have Zordon say this to be great, but no, they couldn't.
That gentleman, I can't remember who played him, but he passed away years ago, I'm pretty sure.
No, he's still alive.
Oh, is he? Oh no, I'm thinking of Ernie. I'm thinking of Ernie.
Ernie, yeah.
But we will get to a shout out for him a few times in this. So
Richard Daniel.
It starts out on Billy, but then it reveals who he's fighting. It is
Robo Rita.
Robo Rita, ladies and gentlemen. This, like, I was very, because again, we weren't going to get the original Rita. She's passed away. But
the American actress or the Japanese actress?
Japanese actress.
Okay.
But one of them passed away. But the one who is voicing her is the Rita that voiced her in later seasons. Played the Mystic Mother in.
Yeah, Mystic Mother. Yeah.
Yeah, she has voiced Rita for everything Rita has been involved with for a lot of years, and I love it that we got a proper Rita voice in this, which Lord, yeah, that's another.
Barbara Goodson. Barbara Goodson. Yeah.
We got her actually playing Rita here. I was so excited, and I really like the look of Robo Rita.
Yeah, it does look amazingly because like she looks really good as Robo Rita.
And whoever was playing her inside the costume did very, very good with the movement, both emulating Rita and what Rita would sort of be as a robot thing. Robot witch. What would we call that? Robot witch?
Witch.
Robo Witch. A Robo Witch.
Robo Witch, yeah. I love how they brought back the putties too.
Yeah, I got a really good shot of them later on in the movie. It really shows them off. I've got that coming up in a little
season bit. 1 putties too.
Yeah, the original look. Well, there's no Lord Zed, so you're not going to put the Z chests on them.
Can I say the season 2 Lord Zed putties are the worst? Like literally a Z in the middle, and you hit them and they're done. It's like,
I mean, kill switch, right?
yeah, exactly. But they don't do it. Like they just fight them, and then they finally punch them in the middle. That was
Hey,
my
I
one.
mean, as someone who has zero self-defense skills or survival skills, having like a target would be like hella great for self-defense, though.
Yeah.
I would be no good, and if they just said punch that, I'd just be like running in, just like just aiming for that every time. Screw the rest of the fighting. It's aim for the chest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Aim for the goddamn chest, and they don't. That's my one gripe about it.
Get away.
Yeah, but again, I thought they did a really great job with so far the bad guys. So
Yeah.
But we are going to move on. We've got the opening graphic shows the music playing over top. Again, I can't play it because I don't want to get us copyright banned. But just with the 6 of them running together, I was just like, oh,
yes,
every bit of my heart.
So nostalgic.
Yeah,
it's like they don't. It's like I don't know how they got their powers back, but like we know how Tommy had got his powers back because he has some Master Morpher. But Trini still has hers because like she gave it to Aisha and then they left and all that. So Trini, Zach, Jason still have their powers. Pink and Blue, they lost their powers. They don't mention how they got their back, but who cares?
Again, remember, there's been a lot of technology going forward. People have mastered being able to manipulate the morphing grid. They got Morphex energy. Because Beast Morphin
Billy himself is just brilliant.
Oh yeah, Beast Morph X. Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways, and Alpha does say how he created a duplicate of the power coin. So there's always all these ways to bring it back, and I really like. I really would have kind of wish it would have been the white costume and not the green one,
but it was their OG team, so you got to go with green.
Yeah, again, he doesn't work to what this team is. I get that, but I just was like, but I love the green costume. I've got my Jason David Frank Green Ranger sign bunk over here. The Green Ranger for a reason, man. But yeah, we know we got power back with the Master Morpher, and again, Alpha 8 or whoever,
9.
probably
9.
The Alpha 8, his predecessor, probably is the one that built the Master Morpher for Tommy, is what I'm gonna guess.
Yeah,
the one that wrote everything.
Yeah. And so this is the scene that I think everybody's heart.
Yeah. Even though I know
my heart ripped out my chest within the first 10 minutes of this movie. It was like watching Up.
I haven't seen the full movie of Up, but goddamn, the first 10 minutes, Jesus Christ.
It's just sad. It's just sad. And it like yes, Joy Trang passed away in real life. You couldn't get her for this movie. It's not possible. She passed away. So
2001.
Using old audio from her and taking the character out.
Can I just say I know
good thing?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You skipped there.
Oh, I skipped there. I apologize, guys.
Oh, your audio problems.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. But yeah, taking her out early made sense. But it was a heartbreaking thing. It was just like, ugh. I was just like, ugh.
I was talking to Malcolm last night when we were watching that scene. I go like, is it weird that I know exactly which episode that Billy came from? Because when she shouted out Billy, that's like the second episode where she's afraid of heights. She's afraid of heights.
Yeah.
And like Billy is like all the way going up the hill, and she's like shouting his name.
I did not know where that audio was from, but dang, okay.
Can you tell I watch it too much?
There's not too much with Power Rangers, trust me.
Yeah.
But and then after she passed away, they have to go to the home of her daughter, and I'm bringing this up because I'm showing the wonderful David Yost and Walter Jones here, both looking really good for probably in their 50s now. I'm gonna guess.
Walter never ages, but David Yost is a little bit older, but he still looks good.
Looks much better than the older version of Billy from Zeo.
Oh my god! Yeah, old Billy.
But yeah, they're shown here again. They have to let It's
Min.
Min. They have to let her know that her mother's died, and this is Min. This is they do jump a year and they start training to become a Power Ranger. She wants to be the replacement for her mom. It's kind of the crux for her in this movie.
They don't want her to be the replacement. She wants to be.
That's what I'm saying. It's her training too. Yeah. So this is Min, and again, I forgot to give her a badass pose instead of her just standing there looking sad from the last scene.
Can I just say, however, the casting for Min, like, they look exactly like Trini, younger Trini.
Mm-hmm.
The casting is great for this.
Yeah, she did very, very well. And also representing that kind of attitude that Trini kind of had. She did have that similar, like, stoic but stubborn mentality that Trini had, which obviously was a draw for her to become a Ranger in the first place.
Yeah. And like Trini was very much that caring character too. She obviously has that caring, but it's like that caring has like morphs throughout this movie into wanting to get revenge on Rita. It's very much it almost goes too far, but it change, and then she has her moment that changes it all later. You see it kind of like turning her, and that we'll get into a little more of that in a minute. But and then they end up getting attacked at the 1-year anniversary at the plot of Trini's grave by Rita with her returning monsters, Snizzard
and Minotaur. Snizzard not voiced by Bryan Cranston this time.
Oh, that's right. He did voice him, didn't he?
Yeah. Yes, he did.
Oh man, it would be, dude. If Cranston would have voiced him, that would have been
that would have been amazing.
Yeah, to hear Walter White come out of that.
That might have terrified some of the nostalgic adults like us, going, "Oh shit!"
I am the one that knocks.
Yeah, so they introduce a machine. So Slizzard is capturing the Rangers to power this machine. Is the crux of what Reed is doing to bring down these people.
Also, can I say, like, they said the word kill like so many times in this last 10 minutes? Like, Netflix is going dark, man, because like usually they always say destroy for Power Rangers.
It is
like,
true.
I am not used to that. That was like every time I heard them say kill, I was like, damn.
And then also, like, thinking back, like, how much death did we actually legitimately see in this particular variation of the Power Rangers? It was very much a PG kind of level of violence, you know. End of life was certainly insinuated, not shown. And like in this one, the first 10 minutes, we witness a Ranger getting blown off of a cliff. So
very hardcore.
Rating certainly upped a little bit.
Yeah, and there was some deaths before, like Lost Galaxy. The Pink Ranger died. Then she got brought back in the end. Magna Defenders. They had a child death in Lost Galaxy. Magna Defender's son dies.
This particular variation of the Power Rangers, again, it was really more insinuated than kind of shown. Whereas this was like the first kind of variation in this series for me that I actually saw legit death or attempts at unaliving when we saw later in the movie.
Yeah, because you didn't see Magna Defender's child actually die. He died.
Yeah.
And then Kendra doesn't die in the same way. She kind of gets sucked into the tornado or whatever and kind of disappears from it. Again,
and Gem and Gemma and RPM get dusted.
Yeah, but again, they were being deleted from history.
Yeah.
Or deleted from the morphing grid and things like that. So I've never really seen a death before this. Real death, I guess. Yeah. But
Wild Force, that little kid who was but it turned out to be a god. Never mind.
Yeah. But to actually see a Ranger get dusted on screen, it impacts Rita so much more. Series. Yeah, to see him get dusted on screen is pretty big. So and we go from here. So that's the thing, and then they get beat up. The Green Ranger, the Green Ranger, the Red Ranger, the Yellow Ranger, the Pink Ranger get taken, and they have to escape in the Rad Bug.
The Rad Bug 2.
The Rad Bug 2. It's the best graphic you get with the plate on there because I wanted to show the plate. So the fact that
Lordy.
that was the one thing. They used the rad bug for one episode in the original series, and they never saw it again.
Oh, hello there.
So the fact that you brought it back in this, to me, is absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, like you said, like the rad bug coming back is pretty awesome.
Obviously, with some upgrades, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because it was like just pure white back then.
yeah, just a very basic VW
What a
bug back
shot,
then.
though.
Between his legs.
That's
The
why
Minotaurs.
this is my best shot. I had to go with it. So they go to Cranston Tech, and that's the command center to me.
I just love how Billy just took his company and went to the command center and built his business on top of it.
Well,
I mean, Batman did the same thing, didn't he?
Yeah.
Arguably the smartest thing that a billionaire tech person could do.
yeah, because you're being powered. Is it being powered by Morphex with the Morphin grid? We don't know.
We don't know. Nobody knows. But yeah. But not surprising that Billy is a mad genius, because he is a mad genius.
But I just love that Cranston Tech looks like the
A modern command center for sure.
I love it. I love it so much. And then the interior showing Alpha 9.
Yeah.
The command
Ay,
center.
ay, 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 ay.
You know, when I first saw this, when I saw the crack, I thought they go, oh, did he really have to like show how Zordon died? But then they showed why there's a crack.
Yeah, that was I was thinking that at first. I'm like, the hell, that's really weird. But yeah, when they get into it, but yeah, dude, this is where Alpha mentions raising a teenager with attitude.
Yeah. Alpha still has them quips.
Yeah, I loved it. I really, really loved it. I really liked the fact that he's referencing. They reference to a line again. It's nostalgia, man. And then they get into the scene of showing why Rita's back, and they were looking for his Zordon, and then it kind of all went purple and weird.
Alpha 8. This was Alpha 8.
And the tube cracked, and the what was it, the
Z particles. The Z particles.
Z particles. The evil.
I mean, the Z waves. Z waves.
Yeah, but the evil particles that were Rita came through and took over Alpha 8, and we got Robo Rita because of it.
I like that story.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, the Z wave, like, destroyed everybody, made everyone else good or killed all of them, but by killing them, their particles went into space and shit. Yeah, it's great that they brought back that. It's like the Z waves, like, bringing them back, but a wholly different person, because Mystic Mother is doing her thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a completely separate person.
Yeah, but again, it gave it a plausible reason for Rita to return.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing with this. I was like, how are they going to explain a robotic Rita? Did some monster create it and program her? That's what I was trying to figure out. And the fact that we got the actual evil version of Rita into this robot, make total. It doesn't make sense, but for Power Rangers, it gave us a plausible reason.
100%.
Yeah. So,
by the way, I see that the stream is private.
Yeah, I'm not sure here. It's not working properly. We're just recording right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just recording. It's not actually.
Also, before we move along, sorry, but like, there's a lot of stuff I noticed in this thing. Alpha. This was Alpha 8. Who is Alpha 7? Because I know Alpha 5 and Alpha 6.
It was probably a version that just stopped working for Billy at some point. I'm going to guess.
Because Malcolm and me were talking about it. It's like, is Alpha 7 the one from Forever Red or from Operation Overdrive?
Oh, maybe it is Alpha 7 in the Operation Overdrive version. That's very possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an episode where where Adam came back with his Black Ranger power in Operation Overdrive. And it gave us an Alpha in there. So I'm going to guess that was Alpha 7.
I'm guessing so too, because they brought him back. But yeah, Mel, have you seen Operation Overdrive?
Negative.
Oh, okay. It's a reunion special. Yeah.
It was the 10-year special.
10-year special.
No, 15.
15.
10 year with Wild Force.
People give it crap.
I was as good with technology 15 years ago as I am now. So, no.
Yeah. People give it crap, but it's a pretty decent special.
Yeah, it was. But to get back to this, Rita has sent buddies all over the city to attack the city to draw out Power Rangers so that Snizzard and Minotaur can capture them and use powers. So I just wanted to show here that it brings up the few cities. You can see that it's Coral Harbor, which is from Beast Morphers. You got Reefside, which is from Dino Thunder.
Dino Thunder.
The Astro Mega Ship,
in space.
Yeah. You got Turtle Cove.
Turtle Cove is from
Wild Force.
Wild Force. Okay, I was thinking Ninja Storm.
Terraventure from Lost Galaxy, and you've got Osaka, which is go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
A reference to Power Ranger Samurai.
Okay, that's what that was. Because I was thinking, there was never been an Osaka Power Ranger.
Samurai.
Like, except for like Super Sentai. But
yeah,
I was thinking they were doing a nod, but then I remember Samurai, they said like their ancestors were from Osaka, Japan, and the lineage went down from each and every family member.
Yeah, and that technically takes place in Osaka. So
Osaka, Japan. So now it makes sense.
I just love the little shout out to show the other cities that Power Rangers has had in the past. I was just like, that's a great little spot. I was like, yeah.
And I like how they call it the Bandora Protocol, because Super Sentai Rita Repulsa was called Queen Bandora.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and if you look at her moon base in this, it says Bandora.
They actually showed it this time. Because they never showed Bandora Palace before, ever.
Yeah, I very much like that. The big shout out to Super Sentai.
Yeah.
Yeah, so great fun there. And Alpha, because they bring in Kat and Rocky at this point, who join in, and Alpha has created proxy power coins, I think is what it was.
Proxy power coins, yeah. Because Rocky and Kat did lose their powers in season 3 when they got turned into kids.
Yeah,
Goldar crushed those coins.
Yeah, so I love the way that they rebuilt this here, and she mentions JJ, her son with Tommy.
Yeah,
so it's now official, full canon. She's married Tommy Oliver.
It was canon in Ninja Steel when they did the reunion.
You're right.
You saw like Tommy going into the house and his son get kidnapped, and Kat mentioned that at the end, like we got to go back to our son or something like that.
Yeah. Something to that point. But yeah, I very much like that. And the fact that they give them power coins to bring it back. Again, it re-explains how maybe that's how Billy got his power back, how Zach got his powers back, is they built new versions of the coins.
Zach never technically lost his powers, is what I'm saying.
Well, he transferred them, so...
Yeah,
transferred them, but he still had them. Because the Bozoron said, like, you can still use your powers.
Did he?
Once a Ranger, always a Ranger.
Yeah, that's true. But again, I just love that they can explain away. So if anybody ever has problems, it's like they built new power coins. They tapped in the Morphin grid. You can never really argue it.
Yeah, there's the Doctor Who wibbly wobbly timey wimey thing.
Yeah, so there's always a way to do it.
Yeah.
So go out and they're gonna start fighting. This beautiful the morphing sequence I thought looked really good here.
Updated, really good.
Yeah. I figured I'm gonna feature Zach in this one, so. But yeah, this so where they go into the fight, and this is the best shot I can get of the putties. They look bronze. They have a bronze.
They look like pugs.
Pugs? Yeah.
They look like pugs, and like Kat said, they sound like possessed turkeys.
Yeah,
angry turkeys, because they do.
Yeah. And like arguably pugs make a similar noise, right?
Do they?
I mean,
I never heard a pug do any kind of noise.
Depending on how excited and how respiratorily questionable you get them, I mean, they can make weird noises.
I very much enjoyed seeing them. And then in a later fight, when Alpha's talking to them and telling them after they beat the first set of putties and they go to fight more, Minotaur says he can track them while morphed. So Alpha is radioing them, and it cuts to this where they're fighting. And this was the one appearance that we got from Bulk and Skull is in this picture. It's a little sad we didn't get either actor coming back to just do a one-off in this.
Mm-hmm. But we got to know what they're finally doing. They finally, like, I guess, like, Bulk got rid of his what was that thing in Forever Red where he owned like a pool type place?
They had a bar, but then you got to remember, Bulk returned in Samurai was living.
He was homeless. Well, not homeless. He had a house. He just didn't do anything.
And then it was established at the end of that season that Skull became rich. So they've probably decided to start a sandwich business together. Which
Skull probably felt pity for Bulk and decided to do a business with him for I don't know, because Skull has money.
I feel like these two are like just forever best friends. Like,
oh yeah, they're definitely
actual like when you want to know what the image of true friendship looks like, it's Bulk and Skull and the shenanigans that they have gotten up to over their decades of friendship.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I love that they've now. It's a beautiful shout out, in my opinion.
Now if they put a picture of Spike in the corner there, that would have been great.
Skull's son Spike, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
But they get back there at the wing, and I just want to put a little bit of shout out. Space Patrol Alpha, ladies and gentlemen, the precursor to Space Patrol Delta is here. They're creating the whole thing. And again, this was a rumor that was coming out of it all, saying that they were going to have a Space Patrol Alpha, because Space Patrol Delta does take place in the future, I'm pretty sure.
We're 3 years away. This timeline wise, and here it's 2022. So we're 3 years away from SPD.
Yeah, again, that whole timeline thing, I'm not going to trust at this point.
Well, they did say they're finding the Truvian Empire, and that's Emperor Grum right there.
It is true. And again, I love the little shout out, giving us a shout out to the SPD world by using Space Patrol for the precursor. I did very much enjoy that.
Now, is it SPA like the first year, and then next year they're going to be called SPB until they get to SPD?
It's possible. But I love that it's Aisha and Adam that started this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, what's his name? Connor from Dino Thunder. That kid.
He is technically a part of it, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, but again, but that's later on. He like during down the road because he built technology for them.
Yeah, but I just love the little nod to it here, and then they find out that Min has gone to fight putties, and she tries to morph, and she fails.
She's not doing it for the right reasons. The morpher knows. The morpher knows.
I just love the face that she gets like scared after it doesn't work. She's like, "Oh my god, no! Oh my god!"
I love the putty's reaction. Sorry,
they beat the crap out of her.
Yeah. I love the putty's reactions because like they're like going, "Oh no, she's gonna morph," and then nothing. They're looking around like,
Well,
they literally slam her on the bar and then pick her up and slam her face first onto the ground. It's just like.
Oh, apron bomb in wrestling.
She's young. She can walk it off. Unlike Rocky, who got hit in the back and was completely out. And they had to replace him.
Yeah. Goodness.
Oh my god, dude! But yeah, I very much love the reaction. And then her, like, she was kind of doing okay, but she was getting overwhelmed, so she tries to morph, and then she just gets overwhelmed even more until Rocky and Zach show up, and we get some hip hop keto, baby. Again, I couldn't get a video because I don't want this video to be monetized, but like just the moves that he's doing in this are absolutely tremendous, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
still got it.
He still got it for like 50. What is he, 50 now?
God.
And those pants, super tight, you guys. He was rocking those kicks even with those tight pants.
Yeah,
I'll take your word for it. Yeah.
So we then kick over back to Rita. She's talking about powering her machine, and she's captured more Rangers. So right there we get the original 3 that she captured. Then we have the Beast Morpher Blue. I wrote these down. The Beast
Space Yellow.
In Space Yellow.
Lunar Wolf Ranger.
The Lunar Wolf Ranger, yep.
And the Phantom Ranger down there.
Phantom Ranger is down below. Along with placed in is Tanya Zeo Ranger.
They got Tanya. God damn.
And then on the other side, it is Devin the Bread Beast Morpher Ranger, Carlos the Black Space Ranger, Nate the Gold Beast Morpher Ranger, the 3 Lost Galaxy Rangers, and Kai the blue one, Red Leo, and Green Damon, and the Dino Red Rangers, Red and White, Connor and Trent. Again, they've done pretty good capturing Rangers, I gotta say.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they got a whole galaxy team there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the fact that they picked up 3 of the 6 is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So Billy, Cat, and Rocky decide to play a trick on
Wildy Coyote Roadrunner type thing.
That is exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was absolutely tremendous to see. You had these two getting sucked up to a magnet. It was just funny to again a Wile E. Coyote type of move, and it worked for a little bit. Little bit.
Can we curse on here or no?
Oh, go right ahead.
Magnets. How the fuck do they work?
But yeah, go ahead. I love the cheesy nature of how they stopped them for a while. I thought it was just fun.
Yeah, it's Power Rangers. It's fun. You got, of course, it's Netflix dark humor, but it's also Power Rangers at the same time.
Yeah, so we go in, and they decide they are going to use the stealth technology they built for Space Patrol Alpha to turn invisible and go to Rita's castle on the moon. And they have these little buttons. They just like press it and they turn invisible. But it's only one-time use, is what Billy says.
Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think. Anytime in SPD, did they ever use invisible technology?
One of them could turn invisible, I thought.
But that's their like genetic power, though.
Yeah, so like I don't know. I think this is probably an earlier Space Patrol Alpha stuff.
Again,
the
predecessor.
Because I'm going to say the timeline is going to shift because, it's
not
actually going to be 2025 for SPD now because, again, the Power Rangers is continuing.
I know what you mean, but it's like 2025 SPD, but whatever show they come up with, it'll be like 2026 and it'll be something else.
So that's why I'm feeling like Space Patrol Delta isn't actually going to happen according to their timeline in 2025 because of everything that the Power Rangers have come since. It just doesn't make sense anymore.
I'm just saying, when we get to in 3 years, SPD, go watch SPD, and then after, I don't know, take a break after half a year, and then bring another show after.
They could just re-air SPD and say that's what's happening in 2025.
Yeah, just re-air SPD. Just do that.
I mean, that has been popular with video games right now. They're revamping all of the classic video games and making them available to play, so you can spend another $60 or $80 on a new game. That's technically the old game just revamped, so why not?
Yeah, why not? Again, and then you have the right timeline at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then Min decides to take the Morpher and a visibility thing and go steal the Rad Bug, and she mows down some putties with a car.
Yeah, that's some hardcore shit right there. But yeah,
again, the violence in this has amped up from what we used to see.
Also, the second time they mentioned like a gay kind of thing. What's the proper term? Because the guy said they got my boyfriend. Like the first time they ever
partnership.
It's the second LGBTQ people.
LGBTQ, yeah.
Yeah, because
what's her name?
Dino Fury, Green Ranger. Yeah,
Green Ranger's gay. And this is the second time they mention someone who's gay. So good on the Power Rangers now.
Yeah,
the franchise.
It's actually finally being inclusive. It never happened before.
It kind of sucks for David Yost, though, because he was bullied for being gay.
It is true.
I mean, times change, right? People learn and they grow. They change the company based on what they need to. So at least they've grown it all and haven't stayed the same.
Exactly.
Racist, sexist assholes.
Right, exactly.
Very true. And so Min goes to the junkyard to try to morph and destroy Minotaur and Snizzard, but she can't. And Rita shows up. So she uses the praying mantis style that her mother used
That
And
was great.
Rita shouts it out. I really did like that. And you got Rita trying to. She ends up taking down Min. Look, she tries to stab her. Literally,
Yeah.
little violent. Rita, come on.
Netflix ain't playing. Netflix is not playing today.
I mean, but Andre and I know that the ladies with those cone boobs, they tend to be a little over dramatic.
At least we didn't get a muff ride.
Yeah, that would have been just a whole other rating level.
Wait,
for
what?
this.
Muff drive? What?
I'll send you the video.
We'll talk about it after.
It's a stardom related at this point, but yeah,
All right.
yeah. And so they get captured. They end up in Rita's fortress.
Palace.
Or palace, yeah. And she
Looking
goes
like
to
Lord Zed's palace.
same palace, technically.
Well,
But-
wasn't Lord Zed's palace like in the back somewhere?
Yeah, I have no idea, but it's the same building, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they get free and they're starting to fight with Rita and her minions, and Rita goes to shoot Billy with the same blast he shot Trini with, and Min makes a sacrificial dive to take the hit of the splash, but it hits her in the morpher because it's in her pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And she proves herself by doing that selfless act.
yeah, because so the more she get that dude when she's on the ground and the images all started going of Trini, it cheered me up again, man. I was just like,
Well, at least it only teared you up. I had to pause the movie because I was a blubbering mess.
I haven't cried at this moment, but the one time, the waterworks came at the end.
Oh, me too. But
We'll
yeah.
get there.
She's accepted by the Morpher, and they morph, and she calls the Morphin time. She finally gets to turn into the Yellow Ranger, and they all team up to fight the putties and the monsters in the hideout. But Rita does turn her monster big, and then Billy stabs her in the chest.
Yeah. Straight savage.
Like when he didn't even hesitate, he did not question it. He just delivered the line and just shunk. Cold.
That's all you
cold,
need.
Billy.
That is all you need, man. Like it. She's the most evil person in the universe at this point, so you might as well take her out.
Yeah, but what did Thor teach us?
Four. Oh, four. I thought you meant four from Operation Overdrive.
No. What did Thor teach us? Always go for the face.
Yeah.
Always
For
go
as
for
smart
the
as Billy is, he clearly has not seen Marvel.
Yeah.
Well,
but technically go ahead.
Thanos taught us that lesson.
Yeah.
He did say should have went for the head.
And speaking of four, there technically is a four in this universe from Operation Overdrive, but that four is an idiot.
Very true. But yeah, they run her through. She ends up falling
How
over.
is the Thor in Marvel not an idiot?
True.
True.
Yeah.
So she ends up dead for now.
Turned off.
We get the Megazord.
Oh.
Now, this sequence, I think, is to me the lowest part of this whole thing. Is it was so the CGI was at best.
Would you say? Well, here's the thing. It's not as bad as like the Morphin movie, the first movie where that fucking abomination, whatever that was.
But
that CGI was worse.
It ain't much better than that, though.
But I accept this more than the movie's version.
Yeah. But at least you can give the movie it was 1994.
Yeah, but the CGI there was like, ugh. The Turbo movie was way better.
But yeah, that was 94 though. This is 2023 now. We got to step that ish up.
Yeah. I've seen much better. But again, it's Power Rangers. Power Rangers has never been known to spend a lot of money on things.
Yeah.
So
especially Saban.
Yeah, it's Hasbro now.
It's Hasbro now, yeah.
I still don't see them spending a shit ton of money. I really don't. Especially when they're gearing up to probably spend the most amount of money they've ever spent on a Power Ranger season in
Cosmic Fury.
This fall for 10 episodes. So
yeah, because they're making their own suits and their own Zords and all that.
Yeah, well, Zords are coming from a Sentai, but everything else is original footage.
Oh, the
But,
Zords are coming from the Sentai? Okay. I thought they
yeah,
were
but
making their own Zords.
yeah, but again, I'm not surprised they cheaped out. Again, it's not bad. It just it sticks out. It really sticks out here. And then so the Megazord ends up they take down Minotaur in there. They destroy him inside of the fortress, and then they all join into the Megazord and they destroy Slizzard with the Megazord with the sword. It does a flip over. It backstabs him and then brings the sword forward. It literally did a backstab.
I love how Snizzard says, like, fighting dirty, huh? And I'm thinking, like, well, at least they didn't kick you in the dick this time.
They're not Shinsuke Nakamura. Come on.
But again, Megazord conquers all. I love seeing the original Megazord back again. I'm pretty sure the Zords got destroyed back in original Power Rangers.
Yeah, like they recreated their power coins, like wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, whatever. The resorts are back.
Yeah, they bring it all back. Again, I'm happy with it all being back, man. And again, it was a good Megazord fight. Again, it showed them using the control stick, like old school control, the power crystal control.
The power crystals, yeah. And the cockpit looking really nice and fresh.
Yeah, it very much was a great update to the cockpit.
Oh, and Min is like marking out when Billy said, like, we got to get the Megazord. And she's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'd be the same way too. It's like, oh my God, we're getting the Megazord.
And the fact that Alpha does a transport of them to the moon.
Yeah.
While they're running.
Yeah. I love that.
I was like, Alpha's got some skills, man.
Yeah, Alpha can do it.
Yeah. So they go back into the fortress. Min pins Rita to the post with the daggers. Like she hops and like whips them at her, just like wow.
Sit down, she says.
Yeah, and we get a from Kat. She loads up her bow and arrow. I think this is the first time we've really seen the bow and arrow at its true potential.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. It's like this is the first time Kat ever used the bow and arrow, right?
At least for shooting.
In this movie.
At least for energy arrows, is like the way they did it. I absolutely love it. Usually just a laser coming out.
Because when she became, sorry, go ahead.
It always was kind of a laser that she was shooting. There was never actually a functional arrow there.
Yeah, because when she first became the Pink Ranger, she was like Pink Ranger for only 6 episodes, and then they became kids, and then they did the Zeo stuff.
Yeah, and then so she blows up the machine after they pulled the Rangers off of there. They're all still tiny for some reason. They didn't Scissor's power just unsnake them. It didn't actually grow them back for some weird ass.
Yeah, that's weird because like the guy's dead. Like, should they be coming back? But yeah,
they should. And then Zach pulls out the axe, turns the gun style, and blows up Rita. Again, solid.
Sorry, we didn't show the one where Rocky stabs Minotaur.
No, I didn't. I forgot to grab a.
Yeah, because his stabbing was sus. That was pretty low.
Because like Kat said, that's pretty hardcore.
He full on stabbed him in the junk.
Yeah.
Like just the way he came down and the way Minotaur also crunched at the same time.
Oh my God, I gotta go see this again.
He definitely stabbed him in his Minotaur.
I need to see that again.
Well, Minotaur probably got stabbed in the junk, realized he's gonna be castrated, and just decided to blow himself up.
And Kat did mention, man, like Rocky, that was hardcore. So that takes a whole different meaning now that Mel explained her thing. It's like getting castrated is hardcore.
That is pretty hardcore. Might as well just self-destruct at that point.
It's like, no, screw this shit. Bye.
Lots of death.
And they blow Robo Rita up. But again, it's not as much death because you see the particles all kind of disintegrate.
Yeah.
So in my personal opinion, Rita's gone now at this point.
Robo Rita's gone.
Well,
yeah.
I think the evil Rita's gone because they dissipate. So
yeah. But we still have Mystic Mother somewhere, and one day she can turn evil again. Because if they can bring back Lord Zed.
You always got to remember, I mean, that most things are made up of that inherent good and evil. If that evil part has been destroyed, there still stands to be a part of the good that can still be tainted.
Yeah.
That
Like I
being
said,
said,
Lord
can
Zed.
you really kill evil?
No. Yeah, because like I said, Lord Zed turned good, and then they brought him back to be full on evil. And he's going to be on Cosmic Fury, isn't he?
Yeah, he is the main antagonist for the
Nice.
upcoming Cosmic Fury series,
Wow.
which I hope when that series comes up, me and Andreas are going to be talking that series. I'm very hopeful.
Oh yeah, if Lord Zed, man, if with Lord Zed, I'm in. I'm in for Lord Zed.
Yeah, baby. So get the glory shot of the Megazord there. That's just the best part, the best spot looking of the Megazord there. I think that's the best graphic version of him. And Mel's got her Megazord right over there.
Lord
Oh, she
Zed.
got a Lord of Zed. There we go.
Nice.
Lord Zed.
Yeah.
Oh, rest in peace, Robert Axelrod. Axelrod.
Axelrod? I don't know his real
Robert
name.
Axelrod. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, glory shot of the Megazord. I think that's the best it looks in the entire of all of being shown.
I agree.
Personally. And then we get them all back to the command center. Adam and Aisha have shown up, and Alpha's loaded all the other Rangers into their ship so they can be taken to Aquitar to be healed. So they got to grow them again, I guess.
With water. I don't know, like a plant?
I mean,
Is that what they're doing?
Like those little growth things in a jar. You just throw them in there and let them soak for a day or so, and they should be good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they actually invite Billy to come with them back to Aquitar to see, because Sestra misses him, the girl he met and went to go live with on Aquitar back in the day.
I'm surprised he didn't have children with her.
You never know. He might have.
He might have. Who knows? Also, this is the first time we see Zach on screen together with Adam and Aisha.
Mm-hmm. This is also the first time Zach's been on the movie. This movie was the first time Zach was with Rocky and Kat too.
That too. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, because Billy is one of the few through lines of Power Rangers history, along with Tommy.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. They're like the last two. Yeah, and Jason. No wait. Yeah.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah, and then we kick it off. They go to the juice bar. Zach, Billy, and Min all talking about how she experienced the memories of her mother. Well, when everything was flashing there, and just talking about her being a ranger now. I really hope we get something from this with Netflix, and they're doing this. I hope we get an actual new team of original Power Rangers. I really kind of hope.
It would be nice to see that dynamic with Min in there, having a new Blue Ranger, a new Pink Ranger, a new Black Ranger, a new Red Ranger. See what kids with attitude in this year and age are kind of looking like. I think that would be really cool.
And with her being the established one of them all, you can make the other Ranger the leader this time.
That's true. That's true.
Also, me and Malcolm were talking last night, like, who could be like the White Ranger? And we were thinking like Jason Jr., like Tommy's son.
JJ, yeah.
JJ, right there. You have JJ who could be the Ranger again.
Yes.
I know in the comic books, JJ does become a Power Ranger in the future in the comics too. So there's so many chances that you could have for what the future is. You've established JJ's existence and said that he's there. So you have men who can lead a new team. I would love to see them bring out more from this crew.
I have a fan theory also, because like I have a theory that Billy is the father of Min, because him and Trini were quite close back in season 1. Who knows? They could have gotten together after.
Because there's no dad in the picture. Because Zach ends up becoming her guardian after Trini passes away. So,
and since Billy's like always like been so guilt ridden this entire thing, like I'm pretty sure he's the father.
I disagree. I think if he was the father, that he would have been the guardian instead of Zach, because he would have felt that desire as the father. If he knew that he would take on that responsibility, regardless of what it is that he does for his business, out of that regard and respect for Trini.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
But that was just a fan theory I was thinking of. Like, yeah.
Sure.
And just remember, just because a black person has a kid, if he has a black and a white woman have kids, doesn't mean the kid's coming up black. The kids can come out white. So it's very possible that it might have been Zach.
I don't see
I
it that
mean,
way.
that hip
It's like,
hop Kato is pretty sexy. I'm not gonna lie. He's got the moves.
yeah.
And then the final graphic we got,
Oh,
what made me cry more than anything, the
Yeah.
another memory of 2H. I'm feeling the
well,
tears starting to well up right now.
I need to keep my makeup on for another recording, Andre. Damn it.
Kim
Yeah.
singing what got me. Like, and
Oh.
then
Yeah, just having Amy Jo Johnson singing the song and it playing and then morphing into this, and it was just like, oh, this hit me in all the feels. Again, it's very sad we lost the both of them, but yeah, I love it. I thought this was absolutely tremendous. Like the whole special as a whole, I thought was absolutely tremendous.
It was very nostalgic. Like overall, it was exactly what I was hoping for. The film style was very, very similar to the original style. It was almost like we were just watching an extended episode of the original show with obviously a higher rating for the amount of potential death that was in the show. If you are a fan of the Power Rangers this season in particular, highly, highly recommend you give this a watch. It was nostalgic, so
a lot of
nostalgic.
great Easter eggs on there and like
Oh, yeah.
callbacks.
Yeah, I thought absolutely phenomenal. A lot of great shout outs to Rangers that came later, again, showing some of them being captured in the graphic on the screen. But again, just the nostalgia overload was awesome. Again, I really wish we could have got Jason David Frank and Amy Jo Johnson in this. Austin St. John, I understand why he wouldn't have been part of this. Again, he's in a lot of legal trouble for money things. So
Yeah. Jason
again,
David Frank didn't want to do it because like it's not Saban, and he didn't like the unauthorized movie that that one dude did from YouTube. So
yeah,
he didn't want no part of it. If he wasn't Saban, he wasn't going to be part of it.
but again, it's their choice. They made and Amy Jo Johnson did say she was invited, that she just didn't want to travel to Australia for 6 months and have to do a movie. She said she's in her 50s. She just didn't want to have to uproot her life and go. She has had a career of her own.
Yeah, she's focusing on her own career. She's doesn't want to. Sure, she goes to cons and does the Power Ranger stuff because she didn't do that before, but now she's accepting it. But she's pretty much done with Power Rangers. She just wants to do her own projects now, which is understandable.
I don't blame her. Again, it's but we get Kat, which is good, great. I love Kat when she joined the Power Rangers. Again, she was a great character for me personally. So, but again, I thought overall this special was absolutely tremendous. It lived up to everything. The acting was a little sus at points, but have you ever watched Power Rangers for the acting? No,
No.
I really haven't.
No. I definitely think I would have reacted a little bit more dramatically if I had watched my friend get blown off of a cliff, for sure. But at the same time, again, as you mentioned, we don't watch the Power Rangers for the quality of acting.
Plus, like I said, David Yost hasn't acted in years, so he's kind of like off.
Yeah, I don't think he's really done anything since Power Rangers. Same with Walter Jones. Again, I know
Walter Jones has done stuff.
He's a voice actor. He's a voice actor and everything.
Yeah.
And I thought actually, out of all the people, of all the original Rangers, he was probably the best. It was like the guy who played Rocky was okay, Kat was okay, but like Walter probably the best out of the four.
Johnny Young Butt, even though he's like there for a couple seconds, he's like the most acted out of there because he does voice acting.
But again, I very much enjoyed it overall.
I as well.
Yeah.
I as well.
So we are going to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everybody. So I want to pop this up first. I'm going to hit mine and Mel's, all of our socials. You can find me on Twitter, Hive, and Mastodon at That Canada Guy, Instagram at That Canada Dude. Mel, do you want to give us your socials?
Yeah, for sure. My Twitter is Collins Melball, and then Instagram, Facebook, and Mastodon and TikTok are all Melball Collins.
And then you can also find both of us on youtube.com/Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk every week, doing all great content. And those shows do get rebroadcast here on Backbreaker Video.
That is true. That is true. You can also find me on Astrid's Pizarro's YouTube with the same thing on Backbreaker Media here through the Ladies Wrestling Showcase. And you can also catch her on her show Making an Impact on Thursdays after Impact.
right there at the address below, youtube.com/Asher Bizarro. I want to go, before we go anywhere, Andreas, I got your socials running across the bottom. You want to give them to us, my friend?
Yeah, my YouTube channel is Humanoid Freak. I got a Twitch that I never use, which is Humanoid Freak. I gotta start that up one day. I will. I got an Instagram, Humanoid Freak.
I think you got
Twitter
a
and Twitter, which I barely use too, but I mostly use YouTube.
There you go.
And I think I have a TikTok somewhere, but not sure.
You sure do. I hope you do. I followed someone called Humanoid Freak that looked a lot like you.
Okay, so I guess I do have one. I just haven't used it.
So it's not on the bottom there, but TikTok at Humanoid Freak. Then I want to give it one more before we go. The person hosting this video for us, our boy Mike the Ref. You're watching him on youtube.com/@Backbreaker Video. Check out all his great Twitch stuff at twitch.tv/Mike the Ref. And please go subscribe to his great gaming content. So much gaming content himself, for him, PJC, Rick Jules. So a lot of great gaming content over there at youtube.com/@Backbreaker Gaming. Please give it a like, a follow to that channel and to this one. Please and thank you. Love you all so very much. Thank you both for joining me here on Backbreaker Video to talk some Power Rangers.
No problem. I made a power protect you.
Once a ranger, always a ranger.
Yeah.
So everybody, thank you so much for joining us, and goodbye.
Yeah.